Whoopsie. Well, hi, everybody. I think I'm on the air when I just said whoopsie because I almost dropped the camera. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to High Top Sports Network's presentation of WPIAL Class 5A Section 1 Boys Varsity Baseball. Today, the Armstrong Riverhawks host the Franklin Regional Panthers in a section matchup. Riverhawks lost 3-0 yesterday at Franklin Regional, today at home. Apologies for the delayed start. There's a track meet going on and some hectic times getting here and getting set up. We're up and running. I will give you some updates and try to solidify that picture camera. It keeps shaking because the tripod is set up on the table here, and it's a little bouncy, so I'm going to try and get that locked down for yins. Josh Reckengast here. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day. Perfect baseball weather, perfect golf weather, perfect weather, period. So we are thankful you are joining us this afternoon. Hopefully you're sitting on the porch drinking a cold beverage and kicking back and checking out the game on High Top. We appreciate everyone that tunes in, all viewers and support, and of course our wonderful sponsors today. Our game sponsor, DiMond Chiropractic. Go to Dr. DiMond, he'll get you lined up. And that camera just moved a little bit, but we'll get her back. How about there? All right, well, we'll try to keep the... Oh, there goes the other one. That's no fun. I don't know why it shut off, but we'll get her back on there. There it is. Okay. Now, let's get it. I don't know why that shut off. Apologies. And we'll get in zoomed in right about there. We'll back up just a little bit so you can see the center fielder.
Alrighty, this is a final call.
And I'll get your scoreboard up there shortly so you can know what's going on. And I will recap the action thus far. As I mentioned, Riverhawks lost yesterday at Franklin Regional. 3-0 was the score. Riverhawks fell to the Panthers. Get the game changer up and running here real fast for you, so you will be aware of what's going on. All right, so we are scoreless here in this one, and it is the top of the third inning. Carson Delano on the hill for the Riverhawks. Delano firing in, and I'll get you names and all that good stuff here in just 1 second. Still had to maneuver around some stuff to get up here into the stadium press box and get this one up and running. But hey, that's the life of a broadcaster. There's going to be obstacles, and you're just going to have to work around them. If you watch High Top long enough, you certainly know some obstacles are self-inflicted, but most are not. I will never say that we don't inflict some upon ourselves, me especially, but... And the throw nearly, and the pickoff attempt, and they're going to get him at second base there, and that's the final out of the inning. I think that was... Lemke was off of second there, and it seemed like they had him hung out to dry on the pickoff attempt. So the final out of the Panthers, top of the third, goes via the pickoff play. Delano able to make it happen right there for the Riverhawks. And I'll get you some scoreboard information up here. So give me 1 minute, and we'll be right back with the bottom of the third. Why can't I get out of this? I think... All right, welcome back. Bottom of the third inning. About to get underway here at Armstrong Junior Senior High School. And scoreless game so far in this one. As I mentioned, bottom of the third. And I'll let you know who is at the plate here shortly. If you hear gunshots in the background, don't worry. People aren't shooting at me. It is a track meet. I believe Armstrong and Gateway under a beautiful sunny sky. Roller out to short. Good play. A pick and a throw across there for out number one. And wind starting to blow straight out at me, which is generally good for the hitters if they can get the ball up in the air, but it's a pretty good poke to put one out of here anywhere but right field. Basically from that scoreboard that you see on your screen to the right field pole, that's about the easiest place to put one out. Now Armstrong has been blessed with some power hitters from the left side over the past several years. I think of Noah Seifert, of course. Braden Wright on this year's team has hit some bombs out. Hunter Reed flies out there to left field. Actually, more of a line out to Mitchell in left field. Roy Bashir coming to the plate, shows bunt and takes a strike. And on the mound for Franklin Regional, Willichell is on the mound. And Bashir sends one out to right field, and catch is made, so that'll be the final out of the third inning for the Riverhawks.
Runners to the finish line.
You're also going to be able to hear
boys and
the voice of Armstrong Riverhawks co-athletic director Jake Canish in the background.
The high jump pit is open. This is
you're going to hear that over the PA because I'm right beside the speakers. So please just bear with us. It's all good. It's all good. All right, let's get this off the screen. Okay. And we need to should have got myself a drink before I came up here. I'm quite thirsty. That was a mistake. Because now I'm all the way up here. And I'm not going to be able to make it down to the concession stand and back up between. Well, I don't think the concession stand's even open, so no worries. I definitely can't make it to the one by the baseball field, and that one's not open either, so I may be without liquid refreshments. Okay. And we're going to get you a scoreboard here right now. It is the top of the fourth. And we have no runs on the board in this game. And I will check the hits and errors right now, and I'll get you that scoreboard up just as soon as I can. All right. So leadoff triple there, given up by Delano. That was Ramchandran out there opening this inning. He was at the plate when Lemke was picked off to end the third. So good scoring chance here for the Panthers. Top of the fourth inning, Delano delivers. Chopper to third, going to be able to hold Ramchandran, fire across, and a good play there at the hot corner by Chase Jablonski. He looked Ramchandran back and fired across to Braden Wright for the first out of the inning, able to get Williams on that 5-3 putout. And Ramchandran has to stay put at third. So a nice play by Jablonski. He has a good arm, so a natural position for him to play in the infield, third or short. And he's manning the hot corner today as Garrett Brumbaugh is at short right beside him there. So Delano, gets back to the screen. Here comes Ramchandran. He's going to score standing up. That ball got through the wickets of Graham behind the plate there for the Riverhawks. And that'll be the first run of the game on the board. And it comes courtesy of, I'm going to say that was a pass ball. It looked a little bit low, of course, but it got between the legs of the Armstrong catcher, Graham. So Ramchandran's leadoff triple comes around to score. And that ball popped right side, right giving chase, and he gets to the screen there. It gets out of play. So Braden Wright tracked it all the way to the boundary. And it gets over by those right field stands, the first baseline stands. Those are generally reserved for the opposing team's fans here at Armstrong.
200 runners, please report to the start line.
I really wish my game changer would stop closing every time I go to a different app, but today it said, no, I will close. Mostly when you do want me to. Yeah, I talk to my technology. I give it all voices and characters as that free pass is issued by Delano to Urbanitz, sorry. Urabinitz? I hope I'm saying it correctly. Brady Urabinitz? Urabinitz? Either way, apologies to Brady and his family. I'm sure they're awesome people, and I'm sorry that I said your last name incorrectly. I told someone out on the golf course recently that with a name like Schreckengost, you get a lot of mispronunciations, misspellings. So, Brady and family, Urabinitz, I apologize. So that will be one aboard here for the Panthers, one away. After that free pass surrendered by Delano. And he's had some command issues, but mostly Delano has been a grinder this year for the Riverhawks. Talking about, I believe he had a win this year where he gave up 7 walks. Trying to remember what game that is. Ground ball up the middle, could be a double play ball here. And the Riverhawks get the out at second after a mishandle behind the bag by Brumbaugh. He was able to get it to Jacob Bowser and get the lead runner, Brady Urabinitz, sorry. So with the force play, so you score that one 6-4 at home, fielder's choice, and the out made at second base. That was on a 2-0 count, and Mitchell put it up the middle. Tailor-made ground ball, really, and I was blocked off. Couldn't see what was happening because of the scoreboard right in front of me, and in front of you too. So you guys were blocked off as well. So the Riverhawks down 1-0 after a leadoff triple hit by NJ Ramchandran, and he came around the last 90 feet there to score on a pass ball. I would guess it's a pass ball the way it looked. Delano firing and does not get the call on the outside corner. Okay, pardon me. Just trying to sign into something on my computer here, and it's not really allowing me to do such things. Someone said to me, it was actually Kiski Area Athletic Director Jake Nolf. Said, technology is great until it doesn't work, and truer words have never been spoken. And it's never just a simple fix. It's always something that you can't quite figure out that is maybe affecting something else. So I'm working on that scoreboard. I'm going to have it up here in just a second. And that ball high right there. High ball looked like it was across the letters, but no strike called. So a couple of base runners here for the Panthers. Getting really frustrated with the old game changer. It keeps shutting every time I try to do something else. I said don't do something else. Well, you got it. There's always stuff to do. So with 2 aboard and 2 down, I believe that's Muhich or Mahich. I'm not sure. So Mitchell at second, Raver at first, and Muhich at the plate. Facing Carson Delano.
Boys high jump. Please report for check-in. Boys high jump.
So with 2 runners on, Delano fires, swing, and a miss, and that'll do it. Strike 3 as Muhich goes down swinging, and that's going to take us to the bottom half of the 4th. But the Panthers get a run on the board first. Ramchandran leadoff triple comes home on the pass ball, and that gives Franklin Regional a 1-0 lead. We'll be right back with the bottom of the 4th. Riverhawks coming to bat. Apologies, I've been talking for a good amount of time and I was muted the whole time. Just realized that. Sorry about that. Top of the 5th inning here at Armstrong Junior Senior High School. And that ball, first pitch swinging, that's going to be a ground ball base hit into left field. If you hear me, a sense of frustration in my voice, it's because the glare is so bad up here that it's hard to see the screens of the electronics. So, apologies for that. I know I'm grunting and like, come on. But it gets really frustrating. You want to be right up to the minute or up to the second as you can be with the score, but sometimes it takes a little time. It takes a little time sometimes to turn the Titanic around. Call in and name that song when you have a chance. It's a song that is very popular around the high top offices. Whoops, I put that over the YouTube thing. I just realized that. There we go. How's that? All right, and just one last thing to add here in the top of the 5th inning, and that is the logo of DiMond Chiropractic. That ball skied again, right side, long run, and oh, what a catch. Did he make it? Yes, he did, running over right in front of the fence in foul territory. I think that was Hunter Reed, and I'm just going to make sure on the game changer, but whoever the right fielder was for Armstrong just made a heck of a play to get out of the top of the 5th inning. Reed was too majestic. Catches last night. All right. So heading to the bottom of the 5th inning. I think I'm going to put one more brace over that camera. It just keeps bouncing around because it's on the table, so apologize for that again. Just can't get her to lock in. Yeah, I know I moved it. It'll get back. Hey. Okay. All right. Well, maybe. Oh man, I am a silly goose. Hopefully that stays. Well, nope, there we go. All right, let's get it right there. I think it might be the actual arm that doesn't even need to be on there that might be doing it. I think it is. Huh, how about that? All right. So... All right, bottom of the 5th, about to get underway. And a fly ball. Oh, it's going to get over the head of the right fielder and turning it up for extra bases there. And might have been able to have a chance at 3 had he been running out of the box, but just thought it was a lazy fly ball, and it caught a gust of wind pushing it out to right field there. And a leadoff double for the Riverhawks. Finally, a runner in scoring position. Jablonski just popped it up into the sky and thought, oh, this is an out, and wasn't really booking it around first base, but that ball got over the head of Ramchandran in right field. So now the Riverhawks have an opportunity with a man on second. So the bunt, well placed. Did he come off the bag? Boy, the Riverhawks wanted that call, and they're not going to get it, as that was Fester that laid down the sacrifice bunt. Fester hustling the whole way down the line. The throw came over. It was actually the second baseman, Lemke, coming over to cover first base for Muhich. And the throw comes across from Raver to Lemke. And Lemke able to hold the bag, they said. the umpire said that Lemke did hang on to the bag, but I don't know. There's a stoppage right now. We'll see if anything changes. And see who's talking. I can't really tell. In any event, Jablonski down to third. Jablonski going to steal. Oh, it was looking like a squeeze. But Jablonski, a big running start and trying to bunt it up the first baseline was Brumbaugh trying to push it up and allow Jablonski to just score standing up if that bunt gets down in fair territory. A aggressive call there by Coach Vinny Santelmo for the Riverhawks, trying to split this series with Franklin Regional. So Brumbaugh, will he show it again? Will Jablonski take off again? Brumbaugh showed it, pulled it back, and shows it again, and the bunt fouled away right side, so that's 2 in a row. And now Brumbaugh will either have to get the bunt down in fair territory or swing away. Brumbaugh will not bunt, fouled off, back to the screen. Well, apologies there. I had to step away. I cannot barely talk. My mouth is so dry. And I'm trying to, I tried to track somebody down on the other side of the stadium press box here to get them to give me a water, and the girl looked at me like I had 3 heads. So, needless to say, didn't get a water. And so, the Riverhawks are retired. And Delano will be back out there for the top of the 6th. Franklin Regional still hanging on to that 1-0 lead. right, the leadoff batter is up for the Panthers. That pitch low and in the dirt from Delano. And second one upstairs for a ball. In other baseball scores, the Paula Ridge Vikings trail Carlinton 2-0, and that ball sent into left field, base hit. And a leadoff single there for Williams against Delano on a 2-0 count. And Leechburg at 9-1 on the season. They are up 6-0 right now, I believe, over, if I get this right, Winchester Thurston, which is a big deal because those are the top two teams in Leechburg's section, both undefeated in section play. And the Blue Devils putting it on right now, 6-0 over the second place Winchester Thurston. And boy, would that be a big deal for Leechburg head coach Heath Scheimer and his squad. Really talented group, multi-sport athletes, and good kids all the way across the board. Chase Henry, Jake Cummings, Jaden Floyd. I mean, just really good kids. Garrett Jones. I enjoy covering them. Wish we could cover them more. Honestly, as the runner takes off there, Williams, he's going to steal second without a play. So a runner in scoring position there for Franklin Regional, but a 6-0 lead here in the bottom of the third there at Winchester Thurston. Leechburg up 6-0 right now. So that would be a huge victory for the Blue Devils. Softball on the road, the Riverhawks up 3-0 over Latrobe. And Freeport actually up 1-0 in baseball over Burrell. So a big section matchup for the Yellow Jackets, and what a job Freeport head coach Ed Carr has done this year, cobbling together a rotation, cobbling together a batting order with just injuries everywhere and finding some unlikely heroes, some young guys stepping up, and it's just been really a nice story. Especially after winter sports where we didn't have in our area, in our coverage area, didn't have a lot of basketball playoff teams. Looks like we're going to get quite a few here in baseball and softball season. So strike call there. Delano fires it in. Base hit. Big strike. I'm all over the place because I'm doing like 900 things at once. So multitasking and trying to call a game. Well, you're going to slip up every now and again. Showing a pickoff move there. Delano does not throw back to try and get Williams. So runner at second base, nobody out. And a free pass issued, so runners now at first and second. So I'll get that out off the scoreboard there. Maybe. Let's get that off the screen. There we go. Runners on base 2. There we go. How about that? You get the little diamond there with the runners on base. And we will also have a chance to add our scoreboard sponsor and player of the game sponsor for this afternoon's game. You know who it is. Dr. DiMond, Justin DiMond, DiMond Chiropractic Center. 3 generations of quality chiropractic care right in your backyard. Down the Grand on the way to Ford City. From Katanning, that is. We'll get that up on your screen. Just a second. Dr. DiMond, a classmate of mine, if you can believe that. We're young guys. It's pretty crazy to think that we've only been out of high school now. Geez. 29 years. Dr. DiMond, the blonde bomber back in the day, used to have a wonderful head of hair. Not so much anymore. But he's rocking the bald look, and he makes it work. And plus, he's a pretty darn good chiropractor. as I mentioned, 3 generations of quality chiropractic care. And that would be his grandfather that founded it, his dad, then in business for a long, long time, and now Justin taking it over, keeping the family tradition alive. And we can speak to it, our own Joe Rhodes. Dr. DiMond worked on him, lined him up, helped him out with his shoulder. And also our own Dave Hartman. Dr. DiMond helping him out, too. Dave Hartman, one of our football season and basketball season stalwarts, going through some vertigo problems, and Dr. DiMond really helping him out. Dave swears by Dr. DiMond's treatments, and Dr. DiMond is one of those guys that he wants to keep you off the operating table. So plenty of healing techniques that, he's not going to push you straight to surgery. That's the last thing he's going to do. So make sure you check him out online and go down. He accepts all insurance. He'll work with you if you don't have insurance, which is pretty fantastic, and he makes it affordable for everyone. So DiMond Chiropractic, thanks to their continued sponsorship of High Top Sports Network. And throw to third, and they're going to hang on the bag. And Jablonski does hang on the bag to get the force out there. Big out for the Riverhawks, cutting down a lead runner. And boy, that was big for Armstrong. Nice play on the mound there by Delano, kind of twirling. And the umpire, let's see what he's calling here. It looks like kind of a pickoff play behind it. I don't know. I think Delano might have seen the runner at first base off the bag, but the umpire, they're gonna call him out, I think. So that would be a heck of a double play for the Riverhawks. Let's see here. Interesting. Turn of events, and we'll see. So, bingo, DiMond Chiropractic. Right there, your scoreboard sponsor. Thanks to Justin DiMond. As I called him, the Blonde Bomber. If you know, you know, as the kids say. IYK. That stretches back to the old West Hills Elementary days. So, Dr. DiMond, if you're watching or listening, still got a fan of the Blonde Bomber up here, high atop the stadium press box. So, they do not call the runner out at first. It's still kind of being sorted out, it looks like. I don't know. It looks like he's still not on the mound. Well, no, he is on the mound and delivering. There is Delano. So trying to work through another inning, swing, and a skied pop-up behind home plate. That one's going to get out of play. And right now, Raver at the plate. So they do not call Mitchell out at first base. So one away. Runners on first and second for the Panthers there. And let's just make sure I got everything right on the screen. I don't. So let's get an out up there. One away. And Delano fires, and a swing and a miss at the plate. Good pitch by Carson Delano. Oh man, everybody's cleared out from the track meeting. I feel like, well, at least my mouth does, like it's in the desert right now. Delano missing low. And that one looked like it caught the corner, but I don't think that was a strike call. Tough to tell. I'm 511 feet away, I believe, according to former Armstrong baseball head coach Ed Morris. I think we're 511 feet from home plate. And that ball smashed into right. And Hunter Reed going back. He makes the play. And firing in. So the runners are split now thanks to a nice play in right field. That one looked like off the bat it might have enough zing to get over the head of the right fielder, Hunter Reed, for the Riverhawks, but he reached up and made a nice play for the second out, and then turned and fired, got the ball in quickly, and kept, that's Fester. Hunter Reed's in center, my apologies. So Fester with a great play in right field, and Reed in center. Sorry about that. I had that backwards in my mind. It's right there in front of my face. But Fester, a great play. And he made that awesome running catch over by the right field fence in foul territory a couple of innings ago. So Fester doing a great job with the glove in right field for the Riverhawks. So now Delano trying to work out of the top of the sixth. Runners are split, first and third, 2 down. And Muhich coming to the plate. Franklin Regional up 1-0, clinging on to that lead. Just got it. Oh man, honey, a little bee just flew right into my eyeball. Oh man, I am sorry about that, folks. Didn't mean to blow your ear out. I about blew my own ear out. A bee, little sweat bee, just flew right into my mouth. I apologize. I'm not having a good go of it up here. First off, I can't even barely talk because my mouth is so dry. My tongue feels like it's 70 pounds in a bag of sand. This bee will not leave me alone. And it just flew into my mouth. I spit it out, and it's still flying around. We're talking crazy times. All right, well, free pass issued there by Delano, so the bases are loaded. Franklin Regional, a chance to really break it open here, but the Riverhawks a chance to get out of it. Still just down a run. Let's see what happens here. Big moment in this game. Armstrong trying to hang on for a very important section split if they're able to manage it. And they've been splitting with pretty much everyone so far this year. Split with Kiski. I think if you'd ask Coach Santelmo, he probably wanted to take 2 there against the Cavaliers, but split with them, split with Penn Trafford, split now on the, well, it's possible to do against the Panthers. Close game, as I said yesterday. And swinging a foul ball right there. So Delano ahead in the count. And Willichell 0 for 2 up right now. Delano at 99 pitches, about to hit 100 pitches at a full count right now. So this is indeed a payoff pitch, both for Carson Delano and the Riverhawks. So big moment in this one. Can Delano get out of this 6th inning and keep it a 1-0 game on his 100th pitch of the afternoon? Delano fires, and it's off the plate, ball 4, so a run will come in. Yara Bennett's coming in, walked home, an RBI for Willichell on the bases loaded walk. Makes it 2-0. And bases remain loaded. Riverhawks now trail by a couple after that bases loaded free pass. It's a tough one. I know that Personalino trying to hit a spot right there, and it looks like that may be the end of his afternoon. Or might just be a conference on the mound. Not sure. Braden Wright, I feel like, I don't know, he's kind of just standing off to the side there. I don't think he's coming in to pitch. Chase Jablonski taking the hill. I think I see the 4-4 out there. And Jablonski, well, let's see. I can't see the numbers right now. Well, that looks like Jablonski's motion, a little 3/4. No, I can't tell. I cannot tell. Can't see the number. And we'll have to wait for the Armstrong infield to move or the game changer to update, whichever comes first. Thanks to Armstrong Indoor Athletics, and I got some info for you about the upcoming championship baseball camp, the Champ Camp, which will be held here at the Armstrong Riverhawks Baseball and Softball Complex. It's coming up in June. I'll get you the exact dates, all that information. I do know one thing. It's $125. Players 7 through 13, welcome. Got to sign up. Spots are going fast. There are a limited number of spots. And if you do sign up and your youngster has a sibling interested in playing, there's a discount, $25 registration discount for the Champ Camp. And it's got to tell you, it's one of the coolest things. And it's one of those things where, you know, I really wish that we had something like that back when I played. You know, something that brings in really good instruction. It's not an all-day thing. It's four hours, but, you know, 8 to noon every single day. But it's a really cool camp where there's contests, there's winners, there's, competitions between players and age groups and stuff like that. And it's just a really, really cool thing. If you go on the website, aia.team, there is a tab on the top of the website banner that says Champ Camp. And right now, I'll tell you, it's the Baseball Softball Champ Camp. And it's $125 for the week. The dates are June 9th through 13th, 2025. Rain or shine. Now, if it does rain, they move the Champ Camp inside. You got to bring your own equipment, bats, helmets, gloves, baseball and softball pants must be worn. Camp is never canceled due to inclement weather. Camp is moved then to Armstrong Indoor Athletics. That's downtown Kittanning, Pennsylvania. And like I said, limited number of spots. It's 8 o'clock to noon every day of that week, June 9th through the 13th. And 8 to 8:10, daily expectations and goals are gone over by the coaches and with the participants. Then instructions and fundamentals for a couple hours. Then a break, snack time, life talks, which I think is very cool. Allows kids to share some experiences and maybe how sports and the game has helped them, or maybe they're struggling with something. They want to, there's an opportunity to kind of get outside the diamond to talk a little bit as Jablonski fires. That one low, so behind in the count. And then there's an hour of team scrimmage, and then the final 15 minutes, clean up, and some final words from the instructors. So check out the Champ Camp, aia.team, /champ-camp. And it's a really cool thing, so highly recommended by myself. I've covered it. Oh, ball gets away and to the backstop, and a run will trot home for the Panthers. And the Riverhawks struggling a bit to get out of the 6th inning. Delano was one pitch away from getting out of the 6th inning and just could not find that corner. Now 3-0 as all the runners advance. So second, third now, and run just coming in for Franklin Regional. Oh, the bases are loaded. Sorry, that was ball 4, so that isn't a wild pitch. That was actually ball 4, so another bases loaded walk surrendered by the Riverhawks. 2 of them in this 6th inning, both with 2 outs. So now Jablonski working to get out of this inning. That one fouled away at the plate. Or dropped at the plate. Not sure. Couldn't see if there was a swing there. Kind of a lot of stuff in my vantage point here.
And Jablonski fires. That one right on the corner. Does not get the call. Well, the Paula Ridge Vikings have come back on Carlinton to take a 3-2 lead. That's an out-of-town score thanks to Steffi's Country Catering. And that ball lifted down the left field line. It's going to end up being foul. Long run there for the left fielder for the Riverhawks. I think there was a substitution. No, that's Chrisman out there still in left field. So Chrisman, Reed, and Fester left to right. And then they actually got Jacob Bowser up there. So I was miscalling Chase Jablonski. He's still at third. Brumbaugh still at short. And Delano moves to second. Bowser comes in. And Braden Wright still at first. And Graham behind the plate. So everybody the same. Delano and Bowser just switching places. And that ball sent out of play down the left field line. So 2-2 count here to Lemke at the plate. And that one skipped in by Bowser. Blocked down nicely there by Graham. Oh, the old fake pick off to third and the look back to first. Does it ever work? I've seen it work, but not often. But it has worked. And the pickoff there nearly got him, Braden Wright. Holding the ball right there, and he's got his hands over his head. The call was safe. And Wright got back and got the tag down, and he is incredulous right now as he tosses the ball back to Bowser, and Wright is still just kind of in awe of that call because, boy, it sure looked like he had the runner picked off there. That's Catello at first base, and another walk. And if Wright, I got no problem with Braden Wright being upset right there because, I'm 400 and some feet away, but he got back behind, he got the tag down on Catello, and he held the ball up to show the umpire that the tag was made. There was the ball wasn't on the ground. He held it up in his glove, and the umpire still called Catello safe. So another run comes in. That's a tough break for the Riverhawks. And now, 1-0 lead at the beginning of this inning. In fact, two outs into this inning is now a 4-0 Franklin Regional lead, and that's just a harsh break to go against the Riverhawks here. I mean, and I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Santelmo, well, let's see if he comes out here and checks with Bowser. Might have some words for that infield umpire, too. I know, look, Coach Santelmo's a classy dude. He wouldn't go out there and start chirping, but, man, that's a tough call. Riverhawks really catching the short end of the stick on that call. And Coach Santelmo out to try and calm his guys down a little bit. I could tell Wright was pretty upset because he got there and made the play. And when you get there and make the play and you know you made the play, boy, is it hard for anyone to convince you that you're not in the right. And no pun intended, Braden was in the right there, I think. But it will not be one in Armstrong's favor as Coach Santelmo walks over to the Franklin Regional dugout to give the changes, it looks like. And I think he's talking to the official scorer for the Panthers. And we got a new pitcher, and it is, I believe, well, I can't tell. I mean, it's an over-the-top throwing motion, but I don't think that is Braden Wright. I think he's still at first. Well, we're going to have to find out. I should have binoculars. I've said this about 8 million times calling games up here. That would really be of assistance, and I always think about it well after the fact. I mean, well after the fact, like while I'm at the game, thinking, boy, I wish I could see that. And I'll check the pitching change here. No, it's Caden Roop. Young Roopian. All right, good for him. I've known Caden since he was, about knee-high to a June bug, as the saying goes, I believe. He was a little dude when I first met Caden. His dad, John, longtime coach, assistant here, volunteer, whatever. John Roop and his wife, Bobby, who, again, a classmate of mine at Katanning. Dr. DiMond, a classmate. Bobby Roop, a classmate. Bobby and John, parents of Caden, extremely involved in all kinds of stuff here at Armstrong. So that's kind of what makes programs go. Anywhere you look, if you've got a successful program, you got parents that are involved, parents of players that spend countless hours and dollars out of their own pocket. That's the good part about parents in youth sports. There's also plenty of bad parts. Oh, that one ripped down the line. It's a fair ball, and that is going to send some runs across the board for the Panthers. Throw comes in from Chrisman, and it's going to be a 2-run double. Ripped down the left field line, and this one starting to get out of hand. Every run in this frame coming with 2 outs. And boy, oh boy, if I'm Braden Wright, I am hot right now. He made that tag. It looked like he had Cotello at first. That would have been the end of the inning. And it would have been a 3-0 lead for Franklin Regional for the Riverhawks coming up in the bottom of the 6th. Instead, it is 6-0 Panthers after that 2-run double. Roop delivers, swing, and a miss right there. And that is Ramchandran. Oh, sorry, Ramchandran had the RBI double, the 2-run double. And now Williams at the plate. So Caden Roop in on the hill. Runners at second and third for the Panthers. Roop missing outside. So make it 6-0. And runners at second and third for the Panthers, as I just said. And Caden Roop trying to get his team to the batter's box. Fastball inside. Good pitch by Roop there, but doesn't get the call. Boy, I'll tell you, that was a nice pitch by Caden Roop. So Roop be shaking off some signs here and now ready to deliver. Change up and lunging for it. Popped up. Oh, actually, that's hit pretty deep and running for it and making the grab in center field. Hunter Reed runs it down a couple of steps in front of the fence. That didn't look like it was hit all that well by Williams, but boy, did that carry out here. And Hunter Reed stays with it to make a grab maybe 5 feet in front of the fence. Kind of two-stepped it into the fence there, braced himself, and was able to make the play. All right, well, 2 young Armstrong students not going to be going to get me a water, even though I asked. They said the baseball concession stand's open. It ain't open. I can see that it's closed. Oh, man. I'm going to run down. I have to. I'm sorry. I cannot talk anymore. My throat feels like there's sandpaper inside of it. And I gotta get something to drink. So 6-0 Franklin Regional up here in the 6th. And I'm going to be right back. I'm going to sprint down some steps and sprint right back up and find a water. All right.
Okay, first and foremost, God bless the beautiful stranger who was keying in to the concession stand there and afforded me a body armor and a couple of waters. So I don't know who she was, but she does concessions during football season, she said, and I just left a bunch of money on the table. So thank you to her. Riverhawks now, they got a runner on second. I just saw that double as I was coming up the stairs. Looks like, well, the game changer resets again, so I'll get that turned on. And that ball grounded to Hopper. Actually misplayed a little bit and fired over to first. And that is the final out of the inning. Riverhawks go down. Still 6-0 as we head to the 7th here on High Top Sports Network. Give you some out-of-town scores here in a second as I recap this past inning for the Riverhawks. But whoever it was that just keyed into the concession stand and gave me 2 waters and a body armor, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I know I sound like a new person. It's because I feel like a new person. I was at a point of thirst that, I mean, my lips were sticking together. I couldn't enunciate words. I take my craft very seriously, so I know it didn't sound all that great. But, boy, that was the most welcome hydration that I've had in a long, long time. So thanks again to whoever that was here at Armstrong that opened that up. She was keying in for something completely different. I just ran down, and I was like, wait, leave the door open, please. And she did, very confused, mind you, but she left it open, and I went in, and I said, I'm thirsty, I can't talk. And she goes, oh, I'm really surprised this isn't open for track meets. I said, yeah, me too. And I said, baseball's not open either over there. And she said, just take whatever you want. And I said, well, where do I put the money? And she goes, no, you don't have to buy it. I said, no, I want to. I want to make, I want to say thanks. And she goes, well, I wouldn't even know where to put the money. So I just put a bunch of money on the table, and somebody will find it. It'll go to the Riverhawks. I put it under looked like a carton of M&Ms. It's kind of sticking out in the corner, so I assume if anybody gets into the concession stand there, you'll know that it was from me and from High Top, and very thankful for those couple of waters and a body armor that just hit, as the kids say, it hit different. As my kids say, at least. I don't know. I said that's grammatically incorrect. It should be, it hits differently. And they're like, oh, you're so old, dude. Everybody says, oh, 16 is such a tough age. Try having 2 at the same time. You want to talk about a tough age? Yowza. All right. We are in the top of the 7th here at Armstrong. Caden Roop still on the hill for the Riverhawks, able to get out of the 6th inning. A long fly-out track down by Hunter Reed here in center field right in front of the camera. And a nice play by Reed. But the Riverhawks, the story of that inning, really, Carson Delano had the bases loaded with a couple of outs, and that one smoked deep left field, long run, and it is caught at the fence again. What a play. Out in left field, tracking it down. Boy, Caden Roop owes his center fielder and left fielder some snacks at the concession stand whenever it is actually open, or something in the cafeteria. Boy, what a play out there in left, and ranging all the way back and crashing into the fence, but staying with that long fly ball was Chrisman out there in left field. What a nice grab. So 2 great grabs by the Riverhawks, one by Reed and one by Chrisman. And those have, boy, that would have been at least, I'm going to say at least 3 bases if that gets over Chrisman or off his glove or something like that. And just a long out, really. Now Mitchell at the plate, but a long out there. And Roop delivers that one high to Mitchell, who's 1 for 3 on the afternoon. So Riverhawks in danger of being swept here by Franklin Regional over the yesterday and today. And as I said, just a really tough call goes against the Riverhawks in the top of the 6th. It looked like with the bases loaded and Jacob Bowser on the mound,
prior to Caden Roop coming into the game. Bowser was on the mound. A pickoff play behind Catello at first base. Right, beat Catello back to the bag, got the tag down, held the ball up, held his glove up and showing the umpire clearly that he caught the ball and applied the tag, and they still ruled Catello safe. Wright was beside himself there at first, and then the wheels kind of fell off. A 2-run double by Ramchandran after a bases-loaded walk. And that's where we stand right now, 6-0. Franklin Regional on top of the Riverhawks. And a free pass issued down there at first. And so Roop working out of the stretch. I believe that's where that ball's hit into the left center field gap. Reed over to cut it off. Slips a little bit, but gets a good throw in to the cutoff man. But a gap single right there for Franklin Regional. So with one out, runners at first and third for the Panthers. Oh man, if you want to know, the feeling of jealousy, just have Joe Rhodes as your business partner. Today, Mr. Rhodes is caddying at Oakmont Country Club, and he just sent me a video of the Churchview Bunkers, the home of the U.S. Open this year, and more U.S. Opens played there than any other venue. Right down the road, right down 28, and Mr. Rhodes, through a mutual acquaintance of ours, Luke Michaels, who works down at Oakmont. Joe got a number, he talked to the caddy master, and bada boom, bada bing, he got the call today, of all days. Beautiful, gorgeous day. And he got the call, and he said, I gotta go. And I said, what's going on, man? Is everything okay? And he goes, Oakmont, I'm caddying. I said, no way! So sick. So we celebrated for a little bit, high five, and he was out the door. And I'm very, very much anticipating all the details of the afternoon that Mr. Rhodes has had. But I just got a video of him walking past the Churchview Bunkers, and I'm jealous, a little jelly. So very cool experience for High Top Zone Joseph Rhodes. Very, very cool experience. Oh, he sent me another one. I don't even want to see it. I was going to put it away for a little bit because the jealousy is boiling up inside me. Not really boiling. I'm actually really happy for him. It's pretty cool. And I've always said to Joe, he sees things. I can count on one hand the amount of times that he's been incorrect. I could count on maybe 3 fingers the amount of time that he's been incorrect when he's told me to change a club or change my shot selection or do something that I didn't see. And I said, man, you'd make an awesome caddy. And he goes, yeah, I can see it for everybody else. I just can't do it for myself. I said, well, that's what a caddy is. And he's getting a chance to do it today at Oakmont. Just unbelievable experience for him. So looking forward to hearing about that. And as I was talking about that, the Panthers now have the bases loaded. And I believe just one away still. As Roop struggling to get out of this inning. That one over the plate and fouled back. So Roop fires. That one, oh man, that was right off the plate. Looked pretty good from this vantage point, but again, 500 plus feet from home plate, so not much room to gripe. I don't have one of those robotic strike zone boxes. Roop, that one's low, and well, no, it was still first and third for the Panthers. As you can see on your screen, I can't see second base, so that'll load the bases there. That free pass. So now there is the old force plate anywhere saying. And the Armstrong Riverhawks softball team, it is a final, shutting out Latrobe today 3-0. Quite different than when these teams met here at Armstrong a couple weeks back. That game ended up being 13-11. Latrobe coming back and winning. Down 8-0 in the second, came back and won. Roop fires in there for strike. Also, Paula Ridge baseball coming back. They were down 2-0 to Carleton and coming back for a 7-2 victory. Greensburg Central Catholic will be victorious, as that's a long run for Fester, and he can't get there. Foul territory. Greensburg Central Catholic victorious over Leechburg in softball. And just trying to get this to load. It's not doing it. And that ball skied. Fester's going to have a long run, but he gets there and secures the final out of the top of the seventh. So the Riverhawks down to their final 3 outs. Got to do some heavy lifting, down 6-0 here to Franklin Regional at home. A section matchup, and an important one, obviously, for the Riverhawks at this point in the season. Every section game is extremely important. So it'll be interesting to see if the Riverhawks can make an attempt to get back in it. Just want to check one thing here. Oh, maybe not. But I do have a water, ice cold water. Not really. The freezers, or the refrigerators where they keep all the bottles and cans and the drinks, those haven't been turned on since football season. And why would they be? That's a waste of electricity. Oh man, that's good H2O. That's some high quality H2O. Whoa. Laying on the horn right beside me is I think that was more of a wave horn. Hey, see you later. But I feel like now this might be just a matter of personal preference, but when I give the hey hello horn or the hey see you later horn, it's kind of a quick tap. It's like dun dun. Not like rah. That means hey, get out of the way, moron, or turn your turn signal. So that's meaning, you're mad at somebody when you give the extended horn. I always feel like the bump, bump, that's like, hey, how are you? If I see you, or I'll see you later. But the elongated, as they say, leaning on the horn, I mean, can't take that any which way but negatively, if you're the person being honked at. So that's my car horn etiquette. Hope all the kids learned a lesson today. So the Riverhawks down to their final 3 outs here. And in danger of falling in both contests to Franklin Regional over the past couple of days. Not sure what is happening. That ball skied to left field right there, and it'll be caught. Well, looks like the Armstrong girls lacrosse team just got back into the parking lot. Wonder where they were today. Could look that up, I'm sure. But the conclusion, possibly, of this one at hand. Possibly at hand. I hate to say it, ain't nothing left but the crying. 6-0 is not an insurmountable lead. And a swing and a miss. Strike 2 there. But 6-0 is a pretty large lead. Definitely not insurmountable, so. And a strikeout there, so the Riverhawks down to their final out. Now the wind is blowing, and I have stuff not very well secured here because the wind wasn't blowing at all, but I should have known better. I've done how many games up here. There's never a time where the wind isn't just right there, ready to wreak havoc on stuff. And I got papers blowing across, and, it's a water bottle. And it just went flying. Okay. And that ball ripped, but fielded at short, fired across, and that is the final out of the game as Fester grounds out Williams over to Mulehitch, and final 6-0. Armstrong falls to Franklin Regional. Well, you can point fingers at a lot of things. If you're Coach Santelmo, he's obviously one of the best baseball guys around, one of the best baseball guys I know. And, you can point fingers anywhere when you lose 2 in a row. Hey, maybe we didn't field as well as we thought of. We certainly didn't hit as well as we thought we could. But I think the pitching was pretty solid the last couple of days, especially today. I mean, aside from just a tough call to go against Armstrong at first base, I thought Fester was increasingly effective. He went, Delano. I'm looking at different numbers. Delano was increasingly effective, and he struggled with his control a bit this year, but he did a great job today just kind of battling through some situations and inducing some outs, some weak contact. And, Delano, got to give him credit. He stepped on the hill, took the ball, threw 100 and some pitches today. I mean, he left it out there. Bowser comes in relief. Jacob Bowser comes in relief. And it just got away. The Riverhawks, I don't know if they necessarily let it or some things conspired against them, but it did get away there in the 6th. And they were not able to score. I mean, period, point blank. They could not push any runs across, not just today, but in this series. So a tough one to take here for Armstrong at home. And the Riverhawks fall. Our DiMond Chiropractic Player of the game. Well, you're hard pressed not to give it to one of the Panthers, for their hard work. And both teams being addressed by their respective managers. I was going to say the DiMond Chiropractic player of the game, and I always try to give it to somebody from the home team. And today, despite being shut out, I thought Carson Delano really battled and kept his team in the game. He surrendered that bases loaded walk for the second run that he had given up. But, you give up 2 runs in 6 innings, or just about 6 innings, 5 2/3. That's not too bad. Not too bad at all. In fact, you'll take that against most. Riverhawks just can't muster a victory. And this section, I've talked about it lots of times. I've talked about it on the air. I've talked about it in the Leader Times. High Top Sports Network is the official third-party content provider of the Leader Times, the paper of record in Armstrong County. And I've said it in their recaps and stories. When things are going right, they're not making errors and they're not walking people and they're getting clutch hits. And hey, that's pretty general. It's pretty broad. But with a team as on the line as Armstrong is, a few things going wrong could lead to a domino effect, this snowball out of control. And it's happened a couple times this year. It just certainly happened. And not that it happened today, but when you know that you're going to have an opportunity to score maybe 3 times against the pitcher, you got to capitalize when he gives you those opportunities. And Armstrong could not do that today. But our DiMond Chiropractic player of the game, the one and only Carson Delano. So congratulations to Carson. And folks out there, check out DiMond Chiropractic. Check him out online or Facebook. Justin, a.k.a. Dr. DiMond, always has very cool giveaways and just cool stuff. He's got his finger on the pulse. And he said, I can't even repeat about it. And I said his finger was on the pulse. But the DiMond Chiropractic, 3 generations of quality chiropractic care right in your backyard. And truer words could not be spoken. So thanks to Dr. DiMond, our player of the game sponsor. Thanks to Steffi's Country Catering. Thanks to Ryan Bowser State Farm and Armstrong Indoor Athletics. All right, that shall do it for me. Josh Reckengoss, thanks for tuning in and watching this afternoon. We appreciate any or all time spent with us. We will be out and about as the spring season gets down to the final stretch, and you never know who we're going to end up with come playoff time. I always feel like softball and baseball are kind of those particular teams where, well, let's get on board and we'll make a run. And so make sure you stay tuned for that. All right, that's going to do it for me. I'm out of here. The sun's in my eyes. My mouth is dry, and I got to break some equipment down and go home and work on the newspaper. So, beautiful day, glorious day, great day for baseball. Riverhawks fall 6-0, and they are swept by Franklin Regional in the season series. That'll drop Armstrong to 6-8 overall this season, and giving up ground to Kiski area, the team behind them in the section standings. That's a tough one to take, and it's a tough one to just not get right back to your winning ways after you drop a heartbreaker like that. All right. Well, that is it. Hope everybody had a good time, enjoyed the broadcast, and we will see you very, very soon. For Joe Rhodes, who is at Oakmont, just caddying, just carrying a bag or 2. They double up over there. And myself, Josh Reckengost. Wishing you a wonderful evening. Stay safe and be well.